This one is actually, I really genuinely felt for the girl, because you wouldn't react like that if you didn't feel what you were doing is inherently wrong.
Is it empowering for you, Miss Saudi Arabia?
It's very empowering.
Okay. Do you think it's empowering to show your body off to strangers whacking off to you? That is what is actually going on behind the screen.
What someone has been through to come to the point to say, you know what, I'm not ashamed of this. If they're looking for someone who is preferring an almost virgin, they might not give two shits if a Myron is looking for them.
Myron.
Yeah.
Right?
I have to stop it here. The blonde lady is just kind of like, how do I say, she seems like a bot. Like, that's someone who senses no shame. Like, she's past a certain, I don't know. I really do feel for this Saudi girl over here. You could tell she's just uncomfortable. I don't know what led her to do sex work. Yeah, it is very uncommon for that usually to happen for Saudi girls. I mean, it is not unheard of, okay? In Saudi Arabia, things still happen, like prostitution and things like that, even though it's a strict society. But if you're like this, I actually feel like you need help, you need to be guided, and the saying, you don't beat a horse when it's down.
So at the end of the day, yes, I do believe that it can be extremely empowering. And what you've had to go through to get to the point where you say, you know what, this is me and I accept it and I love it.
Do you hear this blonde woman? As you can see, you know, the Saudi girl is kind of walking off. She got emotional. Like, again, I hope she's okay. But yeah, the blonde woman, so delusional. Because if you notice and you listen carefully to her language, it's all about you feel empowered. Yeah, sure, that you can feel empowered. You can feel all these things. But the matter of the fact is, if you ever have children, they will know you engaged in work. And that is just so degrading.
This is me and I accept it and I love it and I'm comfortable with it.
You can accept it, you can love it, you can be comfortable with it, but also people are allowed to judge you, and they will. And when you do this type of work, you can never ever speak about honor, respect, and be taken seriously.
This girl's leaving. She's emotional.
Shorty's crying?
Probably.
But
And here's the thing, that's sexual empowerment for you. When you can't speak about what you do openly and you feel a certain way, it goes back to the biology, man. Women know deep down that, yo, this is not acceptable for me to be doing this shit.
Clearly that mantra's bullshit.
Well, like I said, what do you think of the example of makeup? If my boyfriend were to say, stop wearing makeup, why are you wearing makeup if you have a boyfriend unless you're trying to attract other men? Do you think that's insecurity or valid?
I mean, that does not equate nearly to the same level as dressing provocatively, showing your tits and having your body out. It's like wearing makeup. It doesn't even
Right,
come
and like
close.
I said, it's relative, and in certain cultures, they would consider even wearing a tight turtleneck provocative.
Yeah, but we're speaking in general Western cultures. We're not talking about like a restrictive Islamic society or something like that. We're talking about like a general Western culture, right? Common sense. If you're showing your ass, your titties, etc., you're over sexualizing yourself. Enhancing your beauty is, you know, one thing, but like sexualizing yourself is a completely different thing. Let's be honest here.
The argument here that Myron is putting forward is that it is disrespectful when a woman is wearing sexually objectifying clothes when she is taken, because technically she's off the shelf, she's off the market. I have to mention this woman over here, she's actually quite sweet. I've seen her in other clips. She's just not problematic. It is definitely dishonest to try and compare makeup to literally having your tits out, you know, the difference is when you have all these things out, you look desperate, especially when it comes to nightclub life. You literally see women wearing nothing. And these are the same women that are talking about how there's no good men anymore, they don't want to be sexually objectified, okay, you don't want to be sexually objectified, but yet you wear these clothes, you literally look like a hooker.
Everything you do or say ripples through the entire coven. You cannot be a hypocrite. I won't stand for it.
Call yourself a 10 is ludicrous.
Okay, so
None of y'all at the table are a 10, bro.
it's fine.
None of y'all at the table are a 10.
Ladies, I got you.
Like girls that are like 8s, 9s, 10s, like these girls are like supermodels. They get paid based off of how they look and they're getting booked all the time.
We might not be your idea of a 10.
Yeah, it's pretty
Y'all
women.
want the chat to vote? I'm being nice. I'm being nice. Like, yo, like what the?
Nigga said 0.
Yo.
Nigga said 4 or 5.
Yo,
Ones and twos.
Like I would consider all of you ladies like fairly average, maybe a little above average, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Crazy.
Yeah,
There's no wrong with that.
understandable, right?
But this is what, remember how I said earlier that most women have an overinflated sense of self-worth, and y'all agree with me, and then now I'm putting the rubber to the road and y'all don't like that?
These women are becoming so delusional. You know, you have filters, you forget what you look like, and you just think like, oh my god, I'm like an 8 or 9 or 10. Yeah, like you're not. 9 and 8 and 10 are very rare, you know, just like hypergamy is rare. If you are someone who likes to watch Fresh and Fit, then I recommend you watch the channel called It's Complicated.
Why do you think so many men are traveling overseas to find wives in other countries?
Men are traveling overseas to find wives. Why? I'm right here. I'm single.
No,
Why? I want to be married.
Right, but I'm saying, do you typically see women traveling overseas to find husbands?
Men are traveling overseas to countries that have less money and less education, it's because they want a woman who is dependent on them for their livelihood, for their resources, to have a good life. And I don't think that that is a good thing.
You are the most free, most liberated group of women that ever existed on the human history, and yet you're the most unhappy. 1 in 4 out of you on some sort of psych meds.
Let's take a look at another clip.
I value educated woman. Okay, it's not like I'm just sitting around.
I've said this before.
It's not like I'm just sitting around and not doing anything.
A high value woman cannot exist unless she has a high value man co-signing.
Yeah, behind every great man is a stronger woman and a great woman.
Yeah, it's a terrible quote. It goes to show like the the hubris of many modern day women. Men are self-made 99% of the time, and the women come in. I always say it, women don't build, they move in. You know what I'm saying? The guy's got to become, and then the girl comes after that. Men have to create the value before the woman can find it. That's how it is. You're not going to date a guy that doesn't bring shit to the table. You know, some girls might sit there and take a risk, you know, okay, he's on his way, whatever, but there's always that potential. That's why ambition is one of the most attractive things to women.
So often what you find with these career women who chose to be highly educated, whatever that means, you'll find that they're house lax. These are not women who know how to cook. If you are a highly educated career woman, for example, you serve your boss, you go to work. As the years pass by, you level up in your work, you get more money, and let's just say you're a traditional housewife. You probably homeschool your children if you have children. Basically, you just look after the house. One chose to serve her career, her boss, who's probably a male boss, and one chose to serve her husband, her family, the traditional housewife. She's not sitting at home doing nothing.
A high value woman cannot exist unless she has a high value man co-signing.
If you are someone who's easily triggered, you're just gonna have a problem with Myron when he says a high value woman doesn't exist unless she has a high value man by her side. To me personally, I don't agree with that necessarily as a whole. I know so many like good girls, they just haven't found the right guy yet. These are not the women who are going to nightclubs and their body count is going up, which is, I've seen this distinction.
How sick is that? I've heard a lot worse. Cool. Can you tell me some?
For example, the good girl, you know, she's a virgin, she marries this guy, he turns out to be an absolute psycho, he's deranged. I want problems, always! When they finally divorce, the women, she just kind of like soul searching. In a sense, she focuses on her religion, she's looking after herself, she's like, I'm not gonna make the same mistake I did in my first marriage. And I've seen, I guess, my westernized, my friends who are European, English, whatever, going out partying on the weekends, just sleeping with random guys, her body count is going up. That is true. Does this mean that every, you know, European English girl does this? No. But here's the thing, these who are good girls, they tend to be, you know, Christian girls, like, or they believe in God, or they just feel uncomfortable if they were wearing like the Kim Kardashian stripe. They don't want that kind of attention. So yeah, I've seen that distinction, and it does make me think, wow, what is the difference? The difference is you have a liberalized individual. What are they influenced by? They're influenced by Lady Gaga, movies, so it is inevitable that their body count is going to go higher and higher once they break up with their boyfriend or long-term relationship. And the Muslim, the Christian girl, she's just not interested in that because her worldview has a purpose, you know? Her God is not Lady Gaga. Her God is Abrahamic God, right? She has morals and values. Something that I don't actually see a lot of people, particularly on the red pill movement, mention or elaborate on high value men. Okay, so there definitely tends to be a disagreement. A lot of people think high value man is just someone who's, you know, got a lot of money, blah blah blah. For example, someone like Trump, his son is by default rich, okay? Does that mean Trump's youngest son is high value, or has he just inherited his dad's money? It depends how you got the money. If you made it by yourself, yes, you are high value, because it shows that you are willing to work hard. And it is true that it's so easy to win in today's society, because most people are lazy, play video games, they have no drive, nothing. They've got nowhere to be. Like, literally, you can even notice this, guys, if you know, driving your car sometimes. The person driving, they literally docile. But I will say this, what makes a man real high value, in my opinion, is can he survive in the real world?
I'm really bad at building, but here's a few tips I've learned to turn a terrible house to an house.
Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at this cheeky young lady. She's not being honest. If you can be analytical, you'll be able to spot when someone's not being honest, or you know what I mean. And this is why I love watching Fresh and Fit, because he has a lot of banter with these women as well. You know, it is funny, it is entertaining.
What if we actually liked you? What if we were dating for a while?
Why did you like him?
What if we were dating for a while?
Why did you
what
like
if we
him?
were dating for 10 years?
Why did you like him?
I don't know. What if he was like a good person at the time we met him?
Women don't like nice guys. She already explained that earlier.
Oh shit. That's not all the time. That's not for every woman.
Oh, you date nice guys?
Yeah, I have.
Where's he at now?
He's still in my text messages. You want to check my phone?
Okay, why aren't you with him then?
Huh?
Why aren't you with him then?
We're
Thank you for proving my point.
That doesn't prove anything.
Y'all just take a straight L.
And I have noticed a consistent theme. Girls just don't like the guy or respect the guy if he's too nice in the beginning, if he is like texting and he's like sending loads of like heart face, smiley face, love you. So I just advise you, you can never go wrong as a guy if you just do not use emojis, okay? You look childish. Honestly, guys, I have seen this again and again and again. Like, the women are like, oh my god, he's way more feminine than me. Look how many hearts he's sending. Look at all this. Like, look at my text compared to his. And that's because women like to feel feminine. Myron from Fresh and Fit, I believe he speaks the truth. He's helping men. If you're Mr. Nice Guy, you will get stepped on, especially by attractive women. And unfortunately, if you're an attractive woman, you do get a lot of attention, whether it's your, you know, Instagram DMs, people just coming up to you and asking for your number. It's just like the attention, it is absolutely insane. And you don't even have to be like an 8 or a 9 or 10. You could literally be a 4, 5, 6, or even a 3. You stick some eyelashes on, you will have to, you know, show a lot of cleavage and stuff. And these women will rather have this attention, which is kind of like the attention like a guy is just going to sleep with you and dispose of you. They would rather any tension than not have attention at all. I watched a clip of Myron before where he states, we don't judge you women on your standards, so why do you judge us on our standards? It is so true that you can say whatever about men, but you can't say that about women. It just reminds me of that episode from
I let him in. I hope that's okay. You let him in? Oh.
It is no misconception that Myron from the Fresh and Fit, they feature so many delusional, crazy modern women. However, that's not always the case. They also feature some of really educated, level-headed, and know what makes a relationship strive and last longer. So here's a perfect example.
As a woman who makes 7 figures, like, my money does not retain my relationship. Like, my ability to,
there you go.
If he gets home at 6 a.m., me making breakfast when he gets home is what's retaining my relationship. It's never been my ability to, I'm a Forbes lister, top of my game, but that doesn't retain my relationship. Me cooking from scratch 3 times a day retains my relationship.
Ooh,
and
okay.
retains me going on
3 times a day? Not a
yes,
week?
from scratch.
Good.
I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you have, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss what I post. And I'll see you guys next time.